Okay, so looking into the virus itself, the first person to contract it was in Egypt in Africa, right? So somehow it made it from Africa to a cruise ship in America, right? Which, what? Would suggest, again, right, since it's of an African source, right? The first person to contract it was in Africa, in Egypt, right? And again, right, means what? Whoever started it, it came out of Africa, right? Right, right. Mm. Let me get some of this fact straight, right? No, it's a virus. hmm They're starting to body temperatures at Cairo International Airport earlier in February. Right. hmm So it was the Diamond Princess that was quarantined off the coast of Japan, right, due to the coronavirus. But it seems to be travelers who have been stuck on board for nearly 2 weeks are being treated today with California wine and a dinner. But it is the Diamond Princess, okay, an American ship. It started on there. But, it didn't show up till they were in what country? Around Japan. Around Japan. It's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. So they made it all the way from America to Japan, off the coast of Japan. Now, so they're in the Asian area. Did they receive food or something, right? I don't know, right? But someone, okay, new to the ship, okay, would have to start the virus, right? If it's something like that, right? And it didn't start till they got off the coast of Japan, I guess, unless they had it coming from America too, right? And the symptoms just didn't show up to then. hmm So, what are the symptoms, right? hmm And the we that don't care is Satan's side. The we who are supposed to care is Jesus' side. Right? This ain't about sexuality alone. It's about how they're and what you assume about the person and whether you take them at their word when they say they are or they aren't, right? And like I said, right, someone's sexuality anyway, whether they're gay or straight, that usually causes the problem. Now, when you're little boys or little girls, you don't yet know what you're doing, but you're trying to act like you do. A molester will do with a little girl. Ain't fuck her, but rub against her clit on the outside. Mm-hmm. Like Lisa Baker said, right? Now, according to what I heard in the rumor, and when I was dating her and trying to get with her myself and rubbing on the outside myself, she wouldn't let me in, right? Right. That's what he was doing with her. Mm-hmm. Rubbing it on the outside, but not going in. Now, that's still molesting the girl. Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I wouldn't even do that with my cousin and stop, right? Because she didn't seem into it like I was, right? So that's the point, right? Female cousin, right? You gotta stop because you know better if she's not really responding and acting asleep. Treat her like she's asleep and stop, right? If you feel horny yourself, right? That's what I mean too. You're not supposed to have sex with someone who's asleep. That's wrong. That's wrong too. That's why I use that as an example. Now, like I told you, if I'm groggy and you come over to my house and it's in the middle of the night and I'm half asleep, half awake, and I let you in and you're a female, that's possible. Mm-hmm. But no male's gonna get in that late at night at all, at all. So hang that shit up. Yeah, I don't care if it's my friends, you're not getting in. Right? Now, the problem is, we also have similar features. Like, I saw a girl who I could swear was the spitting image of my sister Renee, except she's younger. hmm I mean, you could line them up when Renee was growing up, and she looks just freaking like her, you know. And the woman kind of looked like Robin from John and Robin Warren, but nobody's saying who it is, right? You know what I mean? And I'm not sure it's Robin or not, right? But if she seen Renee, she knows he's the big hotties, but or she's thinking she's mine. But if she's mine and Renee ain't mine, right? Because I don't have sex with mom right? Either. That's like Horus, Osiris, and Isis, right? Now, Osiris is killed by Set. And cut into pieces and put in the coffin, right? Right. Now, what do you think that represents in our culture? Satan killing Jesus before he seduced Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Jews. So you're not thinking where Moses is getting his ideas from. No, you're not. No, you're not. which is the Egyptian beliefs around him, at the time. Even the flood is based on the Epic of Gilgamesh, right? Which is a Sumerian text, right? He probably heard about too, right? So he's throwing different parts he heard, but making one thing about a tree. You're not supposed to eat its fruit. But he also talks about the fruit of cattle, the fruit of a man and woman, right? The fruit of a tree, in Deuteronomy. I know he does. We all bear fruit or offspring. The warning is that whatever this fruit is, don't eat of it, right? Or sexual with it. Exactly. The problem is the context and how it's done, and it probably became something shameful for Adam. Now, until he ate though, right. They didn't sneeze. They didn't know. They didn't know they were naked, right? Don't get that. Don't get that. Either. Okay, I'm not judging UK or Shrek, but don't get what good and evil represented to them in Eden. Okay? Don't even think about it, right? Don't even care about it, right? Because you don't, right? I know. But they're not telling you verbatim. Moses put it in a metaphor. He also said the man has become as one of us to know good and evil. See, Satan is still one of them from heaven, right? In the heavenly form, right? We were made too for the purpose of what? Sex and having babies, right? You don't stay a hermaphrodite to have children. It's the first image of God, being the spirit, made you out of the matter in the earth. Hello. Right. Now, We're looking for symptoms. Yep. And it's probably flu-like. But what's odd is it didn't develop till Japan, too. So what is it, right? According to the COVID, right, 19, formerly known as 2019 NCOV, capital C and V, was first detected in Wuhan, China, in December 2019, while it was initially thought to be contracted from animal to human contact. It has since been shown to be contagious via human to human contact, right? Laboratory. So the symptoms are fever, cough, shortness of breath, and are the most common. The World Health Organization, right, as well, is tracking the progress of the contained outbreak. It's like an upper respiratory infection, including runny nose, cough, sore throat, and sometimes a fever. In most cases, you won't know whether you have a coronavirus or probably the flu, right? Or just sinusitis for either. This is according to WebMD, right? Though that means that when they got over to Asia, someone got on the ship, right, and they got infected by the person who got on the ship with the virus, right? And that's how it spread human to human, right? It's not animal to human, right? Meaning, right, whatever's going in that part of China where it started, right, it has to be something fishy, something fishy. Dude. Because viruses don't just appear out of no, and you either mate them, right? Right. And, right. You know what I mean? Right. And nobody's saying anything about it, right? Why? Because China has sovereign immunity to U.S. and they can do that evil to their own people, even if it affects our people. You don't care? I know you don't care, right? Whole point to everything, you know? Though they aren't dangerous until 2019 outbreak in China, who, the World Health Organization, identified a new type, 2019 novel coronavirus, right? Which can be fatal. Right. That shows what? Either the virus is adapting, which is another way, right, to it's being treated, right, or it's being built up. Right. Exactly. And the outbreak quickly moved from China around the world. It spreads the same way other coronaviruses do through person-to-person contact. So you got to be touched, right? The symptoms show up hold on to 14 days after exposure. Early on, they're a lot like common cold. Or right, you might notice fever, cough, shortness of breath. Right. Infections range from mild to serious. The virus can respiratory failure or septic shock. Of death are the elderly and people with weak immune systems. I don't have none of that. What is a coronavirus? They were first identified in the 1960s, but we don't know where they come from, right? They get their name from their crown-like shape. Sometimes, funny that, but not often. A coronavirus can infect humans, and most not viruses spread the same way. Other causing viruses do. To infect the people coughing and sneezing by touching an infected person, hands or face, or by touching. Now, right? Now, What does Jesus mean though when he tells you, right? Your internal plumbing, right? Your internal system being right with God, not cleaning this stuff or not, right? So you get one at least once in your life, right? And it normally occurs as a young child in the United States, right? They're more common in the fall and winter, right? Of course, right? But you can come down with one at any time, right? Now it's either mutating though, right, to a stronger strain, and the reason for that is antibiotics or antiviral medication, right? See the difference between an antibacterial agent, I know, and an antivirus agent is how it's made in the laboratory, right? As well. One is made to combat bacteria, which, if you don't take it properly as prescribed by your physician, can make the bacteria strain grow stronger. Right? Now, viruses, though, kind of work the same way. Though viruses are treated, again, if it's coronavirus, right, like a common cold, right? Generally, that means you bear the symptoms of it, right, until it goes away. And though about 858 people have died from MERS, which is Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, which started in Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East, right? As far as back in 2014, right? And then there's SARS, which again was out of where? China, again. Right. See, what that means is either they're not treating the virus correctly as well. Don't mean they're trying to manufacture it or anything. I guess right? As well. That's what I mean too, right? Now SARS started in 2003, though 774 people died. Washing your hands frequently, right? Right? But just after you go out, right. You ain't got to be so obsessed with it like Howie Mandel, for example. But you do need to wash your hands after contact with a human being, even if you fist bump Harry. I mean, Howie, be aware of that too, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, the computer's running slow because it's got viruses on it. I'm hitting the next page and it's just slow to go. Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There is a vaccine for it. Mm-hmm. Mhm. Mhm. All right, and that hopefully will help you out.